Owning a ranch comes with a lot of quirks. Horses that think fences are suggestions. Coyotes that scream at 2 a.m. A never-ending battle against weeds. But the one thing I didn't expect when I moved just outside the city was dealing with a full-blown HOA. See, my ranch borders a suburban development. My driveway and front gate happen to sit near the only shortcut between their cul-de-sac and the main road. It's private property, but that hasn't stopped people from pressing their faces against the bars, rattling the latch, or yelling for me to just leave it open. Most folks gave up after I politely explained it was ranch land, not a public thoroughfare. But not her. Her name was Karen. Every HOA has one, and she was their president, complete with visor, clipboard, and the uncanny ability to weaponize a frown. She strutted up to my gate one morning while I was hauling hay bales, waving a rolled-up stack of HOA newsletters like a sword. "This gate needs to remain open for community access," she barked. I blinked. "Ma'am, this is my ranch." She jabbed a finger at me through the bars. "We voted. It's a safety concern. Our residents need easier access to the road. You'll keep it unlocked from now on." I laughed. I actually laughed so hard I nearly dropped a bale. That's not how property works. Karen didn't like that answer. Over the next week, she escalated. First, I got nasty letters on HOA letterhead threatening fines that, of course, meant nothing to me since I wasn't part of their HOA. Then she started leaving voicemails about code violations and legal obligations. Finally, she showed up with a couple of her cronies and rattled the gate like a pair of zoo visitors demanding the lions come out. I'd had enough. But here's the twist she didn't know: I'm not just a rancher. I also own the small property management company that leases out several of the homes in her subdivision. Including hers. Yup. Karen, the HOA president, lived in one of my houses. Her landlord works for me. So instead of yelling or arguing, I made a phone call. "Hey, Jim," I said to my property manager. "That tenant at Maple Court giving you any trouble?" "Karen," he groaned. "Constantly. She's late on rent again, and last week she complained that the grass grows too fast." "Why?" I grinned. "Because she's been demanding I open my private gate. Think you could remind her who actually owns her place?" Jim chuckled like it was Christmas morning. "Consider it done." 2 days later, Karen marched back to the gate, HOA goons in tow. She was halfway through shouting, "We're escalating this legally," when Jim pulled up in his truck. He rolled down the window and called out, "Karen, funny seeing you here. Did you get my notice?" Karen froze. "Notice?" "Yep," Jim said, casual as can be. "Your landlord isn't too happy about all these complaints. Especially the part where you're harassing his boss on his own property." He pointed right at me. Her jaw dropped so hard I thought it might dislocate. "B-boss?" "That's right," Jim said cheerfully. "This ranch, this gate, all his. And your house? Well, let's just say you might want to be very, very polite from now on." I gave her my sweetest smile. "So, Karen, do you still want me to leave the gate open?" She sputtered like a broken sprinkler, glanced between me and Jim, then muttered something about misunderstandings and practically sprinted back to her car. Her entourage scurried after her. Funny thing, since then, the letters stopped. The voicemails stopped. The gate has remained blissfully rattled-free. In fact, Karen won't even make eye contact when we cross paths at the feed store or gas station. And the kicker? Last month, Jim told me she renewed her lease. At a higher rent. Without complaint. Turns out, it's hard to boss someone around when the gate you're banging on belongs to your landlord's boss. Now, every time I drive through my gate, I can't help but chuckle. Sometimes I even wave at her house when I pass by, just to remind her, it's my land, my rules, and I hold the keys to more than just this gate.